ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On Loose Lines again, and this one drives me nuts from time to time. Wrong button, need that one off for a second. Just got to do a couple of little things. I need to give myself an intro so I can buy myself a little bit of time. But of course we're talking On Loose Lines tonight, and I want everyone to be able to get involved in the show as always. If you are watching either over YouTube or via Facebook, you can go to those pages and be able to see it now. I was hoping that it doesn't happen, unfortunately. I was trying to do something different on YouTube tonight as well, but that hasn't worked. So we'll check something out on YouTube Music that you can't get involved in the show. Rightio, big show. Got Jonny Turner going to come on in a second once I ring him in, but I also want to be able to make sure that we can get a bit of a speak out there. We want to talk about the New Zealand Cup, the meeting. If you've been, if you're going, get involved in the show and Tell us what you like about it, what you love about the show, the meeting, the week, what it's all about. The size of the fields is what does my head in. And Johnny will give us a little bit more of an insight into that as well. But also this week, where is the Breeders' Crown at, and can we fix it? I do have an idea for it, which I'll bring into the show a little bit later on. I've put it up a little bit. I don't know whether it will work or it won't, but that's off the back of this week's, there's 2 heats for the fillies, 2-year-old fillies and 2-year-old colts and geldings tonight at Bendigo. And I will get those fields up because they are, one has been decimated by scratching. So races 5, 6, 7 and 8, the Pebble Beach Breeders' Crowns, and then the IRT races, and I'll get a few of the results in a second. But race 1 goes around now. It's had 10 horse field, and then there's 2 scratchings out of the second of the 2-year-old fillies. So that'll be a 10 horse field as well. So there'll be 20 horses going into the semi. So every horse going through tonight gets a run, and then there is 17 2-year-old colts and geldings. The same thing on Friday with the 3-year-olds. There is 2 heats of the rock and roll dance Breeders' Crowns for the 3-year-old fillies, 2 heats of those, and the Woodlands Lather Up, got the right hat on, as well. So we've got 2 fields of 11 for the 3-year-old fillies, so 22 for the 3-year-old fillies. And then we had 20, but there's already 2 scratchings out of the boys, so down to 18 as well. On what was once one of the best meetings and most spoken about carnivals going around, and where it's at now. Where do we change it? How do we change it? I have a few ideas going forward. Stuart Tanner, hello to you, my friend. It is it's not wet here. Well, it's not cold, but it is wet. I've got the fan going. But we're fortunate enough, we've had a couple of heavy storms just here, but I know Bendigo and some other parts have been getting plenty of rain as well. So one, I hope that your health is good too, Stuart, because I know it's not always been that good. Sorry, you should never, ever read messages when you try to organise something, but hopefully, just turn that up a little bit. And hopefully I've got the great man on there. Jonny Turner, are you there, my friend?
Oh, I'm there, mate. How you going?
Very, very well. I think we might have some illustrious people watching as well, so we better be careful, because I was just texting Brett Coffey just prior to that, to us coming on air. That's why I was a little bit out of sorts. So there could be a bit of pressure on this show tonight, my friend.
Not as much pressure's on Brett at the moment. He's in America selecting a new stallion for Alabar, so really excited to see what he comes up with there.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's don't publish that. Straight, that's a re-scoop for you, Paulie. No doubt.
Johnny, I love you. Thank you very much. Kia ora from Karen Milne. Now, who's Karen Milne, Johnny? You'll be able to help me, because I do know Nigel here.
Alec Milne, yes. Outstanding Southland trainer who's prepared many a good horse, including the great Matt-Eye Dreamer, one of the greatest race track performances in New Zealand history. Missed the start of the Kindergarten Stakes, still won.
Right. I was going to say it's a big rap.
Oh, you've got to give a few reps around here, I tell you.
Well, you're on the right show to make outlandish comments, and we will get onto a few of those in a second. He actually trains a horse at the minute, Ardenican, who, incidentally enough, is the mother of Belittled, a horse that we race. So there's one for you. I think the Ardenican that it races down your neck of the woods is a gelding, so it even makes it even a more interesting thing, if you like.
There you go.
Yes. So, but he's, of course, anyone over here, he's Nigel Milne's father. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Nigel's mum and dad. Karen's obviously Nigel's mum. So there you go.
Yes. Jonny, do you spell your name with two N's? Everywhere I see it, it's got two N's. Is it Johny?
No H, just Jonny.
Right. I'm learning
just to
here.
make it complicated for people.
Well, blokes like me that can't spell and people try and change it all the time. Says me, who has a daughter called Holly, and I spelled it Holi, but that's okay. You don't worry about those things. So you do that to make people think a bit. So it's all good. Firstly, mate, welcome to the show. I had you on the other day with Over the Ditch with Matty Markham, and we went into a bit of form and that. And I encourage people, if you want to know a bit more of your form about New Zealand and where what's going on, I suppose, behind the scenes, make sure you tune into that show because it's pretty insightful. Matty's got a great knowledge of it, and so I think, Jonny, we might have to get you on a bit more often too. You both look at the races similarly, come to the same result, just a different way of looking at them, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm actually completely shocked to be invited back on. I believe I insulted most of your audience there the other day, Paul, and you've obviously forgotten about that and accidentally bring me again. So shocked to be on, but it's certainly a pleasure to be here.
Gillian Stockman has tuned in. Good work, Jonny. I'll ring Graham Henley in the morning. So no one knows. Jill won't tell anyone. We know that much. She'll be quiet. I look forward to catching up with Jill from Saturday onwards when I get down there. But no, I don't mind having a little bit of fun. But it's good just to, I suppose, look at the races and the racing. And before we get on to the meeting ahead, the racing in New Zealand's just been outstanding in the lead up to this week, hasn't it?
Wow, it sounds like it's going better than the Breeders' Crown. I'll give you the tip there. No, it certainly has been building to New Zealand Cup Day. We've had some fantastic racing at Kaikoura, Ashburton, right the way through Addington. But we went there the other night, but still great racing. And yeah, it's going to go to a whole new level, New Zealand Cup Day, with some outstanding fields programmed.
What does it mean to New Zealand, mate, the New Zealand Cup Week, to the New Zealand harness people?
It doesn't get any better or any bigger than New Zealand Cup Day. It's the place everyone wants to win a race. Of course, everyone wants to win the Cup, but gee, if you win the Rating 50 race on Cup Day, you're probably going to party for the rest of the year. So, no, it's the day we hang our sort of hat on, and it's the day we get our biggest crowds and our biggest turnover. It just doesn't get any bigger.
I think the Rating 50, I've got the fields in front of me. Is it an 18 horse field? Did I see that it was
more than likely, yeah.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, it is. One emergency, though. No, two emergencies, so we'll be down to 16, which is still enough. Which
is amazing, so no wonder you want to win it. Do you actually know what horse Brett's looking at?
No, I'm just having you on. No. No, I thought he might be listening, so I better stir him up and just keep him on his toes. So, no, it's not quite a scoop there, but Hey, they've got some powerful stallions in their ranks, so they probably don't need another one at this stage. So,
no, I will be honest. I was a little bit cheeky with Brett a couple of weeks ago. I rang him and just asked if he knew where his boss was, and he said yes. And then, I'll be honest, I rang Mark Hughes, and he knew where his boss was as well. So I was able to work it out of who might have been already over there looking at Confederate. About a month ago, so it's definitely a lot of interest over this side for a horse like Confederate, and even Cannibal, I think, is another horse on the radar for studs down here, which is exciting. So yeah, but no, Brett generally won't respond on there. He may send a private text message to one or both of us, mate, and we might get a wake up call that way. I don't know. So, but it will be all fine. What's been some of your highlights, I suppose, leading up to the Cup Week, like some of the smokies, I suppose, horses that come from that you may not have expected either in the Cups or some of the lead-up races?
Yeah, I guess with New Zealand Cup, there's such a gathering of your top-class horses. There's no real surprises in the horses that are there. It's probably more the draws. We've got a couple of three horses that have drawn probably where we didn't expect them to draw.
Yep.
Millwood Nike is probably the one drawn the outside of the second row. She's got 14 other horses inside her. That's going to be a mammoth task for her.
That race, and actually I can get that up. We can do these things here, Johnny. We can. Oh no, I've got to change that though. I've got to get rid of that because then people can't see it. And then I've got to do this. See, I told you I'm very organised, Johnny, with a lot of this stuff that I do. Right, so now people know we're there. But that race there is race number 7, is it? No, race 8. Johnny,
it's the Group 1 fillies race.
There it is. There, race 7.
Race 7, yeah.
Race 7, and we got Jill Stockman on it. Like this race here, Confederate or Cannibal or both, Rodney Mercia, I would imagine, is a cracking field. A horse like Artie by the Seaside, she was nominated for the Cup. Like that's how high Stonewall rate that horse there. Sweet Diamond's a beautiful mare. Treacherous Girl, she won the Southland Oaks towards the end of last season and looked like being a really nice filly. Probably hasn't put it all together since coming back. And then you got a horse like Mantra Blue, and you got Advanced Party at the back there as well, and Millwood Nike. This is just a huge quality field of horses going around, isn't it?
Yeah, it was Artie's Express that was nominated for the Cup, but Artie's
sorry.
the Seaside.
Thank you.
She's a class filly, and from Barrier 2, she's going to take, well, probably Barrier 1 with the scratching coming out. She's going to take all sorts of catching from there, so she's in great form. Yeah, it's a big ask for Mantra Blue or Millwood Nike to be chasing her from so far back. They're going to be settling towards the tail of the field, and gee, to give her what, 10 odd lengths?
Yep.
That's a mammoth task. So it's going to be a heck of a race because you know that they're going to be put into the race at some time.
Even Sweet Diamonds has been going terrific. The one time with that 0 was actually driver error, not horse error. So you can't really fault her form either. Like she's going terrific.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Jill's very happy with the draws. I know the Woodlands horse draws inside the second line, so it's going to be... Stonewall actually, they're going to have 3 or 4 horses up the pointy end very, very easily. Actually, 3 of them will be, and if the other emergency gets a start, well, it might be as well. So they'll have 3 horses up the pointy end.
Yeah, well, Kahlua Flyby, if everything sort of goes to plan, will be lead us back. So where else would you want to be with a bit of speed on and horses coming around making moves? Yeah, beautiful spot. You and I
have been fortunate enough to see Millwood Nike in the flesh. She's not something else to look at, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. She's just a very plain bay filly, but she just gets an aura about her, doesn't she, when she steps out onto the track?
Oh, definitely. Like she's sort of horse that on the home bend you think she's off the bit, she's not really going anywhere, but then all of a sudden they ask her to go and she just lifts. She's something else. If she's able to keep her unbeaten record intact in this race, it will be an enormous feat, but she's classy enough to do it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, Mantra Blue, Zach Butcher, he's always been noted over here as a driver, but he's got a couple of nice horses in his stable. But this filly is very, very smart, 4 from 4, and has just got an electric turn of foot. I've actually got her video here. She actually goes back. I'm not going to show the whole video, Johnny, because it will take you a while to fill that time in. She's outside the gate there in the white sleeves. And she drags back to last, and that's her there on the picture now running second last. It's just electrifying, this speed that Zach just asked, and she just rounds them up, which is hard to do against quality horses at Addington, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly in those conditions was probably the big thing. Like it wasn't easy going there, and she's turned up from barrier 9 and just sort of give it to them. So. Yeah, she cannot have been any more impressive, really impressive performance. She's never been to this sort of level before. I imagine she'll stack up. You'd think she would. Most people will be betting she would. So, she's expected to, but I guess that's the only query is first time at this kind of competition. We'll see what she's really made of.
And that was a nice filly in front. That was Sweet Coco, yes? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. Certainly on her day.
Yep.
She's one of those ones that needs to be in the right mood or sort of get things how she likes. But when she does, she's a nice horse.
It's good to have Jill on too. She's very happy with her draws. Very hard to beat Nike Franco, and I think anyone just enjoys watching Nike Franco. There is something about her, and then Zach's filly as well. But they can't be upset with the way their horses are going either. I think they've got a great chance in the race. The trotters, probably on this card here, probably the top liners aren't there, but the trotting depth in New Zealand's outstanding as well, Johnny, at the minute.
Yeah, it seems to be the way these days. A lot of the top class ones will bypass Tuesday and go straight into the Dominion on Friday. But in saying that, we've still got a really nice field for this Worthy Queen race with Majestic Man, who's been going really good races. He's trying to win this race 2 years in a row. He won it last year, the first ever running, and he looks a massive chance of doing it again. Yep,
that's race number 8. There is another trot on as well. How good are you going, Johnny? Give me no.
There's some graded shots throughout the day, and
there it is. There, yeah,
very even. Yeah.
Race number 3. Well, Nazareth last year wins the Derby. Not on this meeting, not on this card, but that's the sort of horse that is, and it's another 13 horse field. Andy Hall was terrific the other day as well. So it's another. Confessional was good the other day. Bobby Butt gets a drive. Paul Nan's on the sidelines for that one. Wonder. I know Bob drives a few for him, but that was a bit. I didn't expect to see that one.
Yeah, well, I guess Bob's parents own this horse, or part own anyway.
Well, so that'll be why.
It could be part of it. So yeah, Paul Nen, he often steps aside, but when he's in the card, he's as good as most around. That's for sure. So I guess it's flip of the coin stuff. Either way, they're going to get the right trip with either one in the bike.
Help me out. What was the 2-year-old that won the other day?
Won the 2-year-old trotting stakes. The name just eludes me.
Heads me up. Heads.
Yeah.
Heads me up. Something like that.
Yeah.
Paul's
Hit him up.
Head him up. And Emily Morgan just tells us there that Paul got suspended, so he must have either there or on the Sunday must have copped a suspension anyway. Actually, while Emily's on there too, Johnny, and I don't know whether you've confirmed this or not, but we will be doing a live show on Monday. I think we decided 2 o'clock New Zealand time, which will be 12 o'clock Australian time during the day, and we're going to have Kirsten Green. Kirsten was going to come on the show tonight, but the reception where she's at is pretty poor, so she would have to have stood outside, and I said to her, look, she's going to come in on Monday, and we're going to get a couple of other drivers and a bit of a deep dive right through the whole meeting, if you like, and try and highlight what it actually means to so many other people. So something to look forward to, and I believe you've been asked. I'm just not sure if you've responded to that one. That's all.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the funds to be transferred from you, Paulie, for my massive appearance fee. So
true story.
As soon as that clears, we'll be there with bells on.
True story. I suggested the Brett Coffey might have suggested the same thing. I've opened up the purse strings, and I just told him that I put it on the Yellowbar account. So and he didn't say no to it. So you just go give Brett a ring, and he'll look after you, mate.
Sounds perfect.
Sounds good as well. One of the other races, before we get onto the Cup and give people on loose lines a little bit of an insight into it, mate, is the Woodland Stud Size Stakes for the 2-year-old colts and geldings. It's just a terrific bunch of 2-year-olds this year, and this is a great field, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. They've been an even bunch so far, although Cold Chisel's sort of the one that's been standing out and putting his hand up to say he's the best. So you'd expect that to obviously continue. He doesn't get too many favours with the draws here, though, from 12, so he's going to have to be good. But Vessam's sort of been his main rival, and he's drawn 7, so you could say they're probably a little evenly matched, although Vessam may be able to settle in front.
Well, he'll come out of 5, so that makes a big difference.
Yeah, well, no, you did right.
And he's a bit of a forgotten horse, Vessam, in a way. Like, I suppose the gloss came off him a little bit, but he hasn't been going bad. It's just been 1 or 2 beating him home the last few starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's the nature of these this crop of colts as they are. So even that he was certainly the standout early. That they're certainly on more of an even playing field now. Chase the Dream from the outside the second row is going to be a massive factor. Even though he has drawn poorly, he's going to be right amongst this race. So yeah, another race where the draws have set up for a really fascinating contest.
Yep, and the depth in him, like a horse like Hadron Collider, I really like him as a horse, and he could start huge odds in that race.
Yeah, he's got a motor there. There's no doubt about that. And you'd think the pace on would suit a horse like him, who has clearly got all sorts of ability. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what he can do. Lee Major's been very good right the way through. Major Hot touch disappointing the other day, but he's drawn 3 and has gate speed, so he should be right up on the speed and getting amongst it. And Always Be Elite's been very consistent right the way through as well. So, yeah, fascinating race. I wouldn't want to have to label him one, to be fair.
No, definitely. Jill says there that Vesson won at the Cup Trials today, so that's a good sign that he's back. Paul Foster, who always contributes, Paul Nan got, I believe the way that reads, must got suspended for using a whip in the free hand, by the looks.
Oh, yeah.
And Joe Pace, good evening to you. Now, Jonny Turner, Joe, is the king of content. Now, if he hasn't got hats, I'd be surprised. So you needed now, Joe, try and get yourself a hat off Johnny. That'll be a feat for you and yourself, mate. So we'll leave it at that. Do you have any hats, Johnny?
I reckon Joe's bought most of the horses that have raced around Southland in recent years. Harry Stanford and the like. He's got an eye for talent. There's no doubt about that.
Harry was good 2 weeks ago. He was awesome. It was good to see him.
Oh, he was outstanding.
Yeah, got beat by a very good filly. I don't think Joe was quite as happy as what I was with his run initially, but I think he would have worked it out straight after. It's never good just getting beat at Pimple, but it was a good race, and he is going very good, and well done to the team for getting him back as well. So he's a good man. Don't worry about that. Darren Ray is...
Paul, can I just note something?
You can say whatever you like, Johnny. Don't worry about that.
Phil Williamson's trying to call me. I'm going to have to brush him just to stick with you. So
stick with the strength.
Apologies to Phil.
Stick with the strength. Phil's wife's name is Barb.
Bev. Lovely lady.
Yep,
Great lady.
She quite often logs on. So she logs on. I promise I'll throw you under the bus, mate. I'll make sure that you say that. So that's fine. Every now and then she does log on. Or Jill might be able to ring her for us and just say that, you just gave him the cold shoulder to be with me.
That's an option too.
Rightio, let's go to the Cup. I've got to do a few things here, but it's a great field, Johnny. I reckon Harness Racing New Zealand a couple of years ago we were saying about maybe the depth of the fast class horses. It was brought up to me the other day about the depth of the fast class horses in New Zealand, and I actually laughed at the person. It's amazing, isn't it? The quality of horses that are in New Zealand now and staying there. I think it's great. Yeah,
really fascinating Cup field this year. Obviously, the draws have just added a whole new dimension to this race. It's a bit of a broken record when it comes to draws, but when you've got a Cooter and Swayze at the back of the second row, it sort of opens all sorts of calculations up as to how they're going to get into the race. They're both going to have to move mid-race unless there's some kind of parting of the seas early. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds. We've got some good beginners on the front. Pembroke Playboy from 1 begins like a rocket. Republican Party has been beginning very well. A horse like Kango gets away solidly, and Old Town Road, probably the best drawn, even though Nines doesn't look flash. He's on the front row and gets his chance to settle in front of a whole heap of horses with his ability to begin well too. So, yeah, it's fascinating. There's going to be mid-race moves, and it's going to be interesting to see how fast the Aussie horse steps, Swayze. All the reports are that he can begin. I'm sure he has done in workouts of trials and that sort of thing, but the intensity of a New Zealand Cup is a different matter. If you're going by Majestic Cruiser, the stablemate, he'll probably begin like a rocket. So, it just adds, I guess, another dimension there. We'll certainly be all eyes on the two favourites when the tapes go.
I think the thing with Swayze, though, too, is exactly what you said there. It is a New Zealand Cup, so every other person's on edge, but they won't give an inch. Like, it was interesting you saying about Old Town Road. I don't know who told me last year, but drawing wide in the Cup is almost a bonus because you are out of that hustle and bustle with the horses off the second line, all trying to get in the right spot, as well as the horses on the front line, whereas, as you said, Old Town Road and one change out wide will have an advantage because of the fact that they'll be up there on their own. And then with Swayze, it was a pretty soft standing start trial that he had. He's got horses in front of him and around him. That's going to be a whole different kettle of fish to getting him to go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably the biggest thing for me is if you're drawn 1 to 6, you're going to be standing there a long time while the outside of the front line and the second line come in. That can be the danger. We saw that with Copy that
Yep.
2 or 3 years ago, although that was a bit of a complex scenario because the start didn't really go particularly well. But yeah, you can be standing down there a long time, and if you're a great beginner, you can stand there and go away like a Pembroke Playboy. You put your money on him stepping straight away. But if you're a beach bull, there's probably more to lose there because a horse like him can get a little bit fidgety. He's right in the race if he steps, no doubt about that. But he's probably one of those horses that falls into that category of, hey, do we have to stand a wee bit too long, and is it going to be a disadvantage to him?
The first horse drawn out today was BD Joe, and Jill's wearing her hat on a. We know she would. She said, "Go BD Joe." To me, this might be this could be a good barrier draw for him because he has been missing away. I'd be interested in your thoughts, but he has stepped a couple of times and then got it wrong. But I wonder where you think about his barrier draw.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him on the front. I think he's the horse that when he gets it really well. If he'd settled in the first 2 or 3, he would have been right in the race. I'm not saying he's certainly not. It's just probably more of a question mark about where exactly he lines up and where exactly he settles, in that first 200 or 300 metres. No doubting his class, no doubting he's good enough to win the race, but where exactly he settles, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
And his form is actually better than what his figure form shows because that 0, he just got it way wrong in that one. So, yeah.
Bit of carnage there, yeah, just a complete forget he went round there.
So, Nathan Purden, Scott Purden, who's no relation, I don't think, but he's actually got on to the Purden team. David Brick, we've got royalty from Queensland tuned in to watch us going on tonight. I'll get into trouble from Bricky for saying that, but it's actually good to see we do have him on there. There was a couple other comments. I'll get to those in a second. Akuta, what do you make of that draw? Like, is it as bad as it looks? Because he will be up high, out wide. Is he able to just work it out and then go around when he wants to?
Well, to put it pretty bluntly, he's better than most of these horses. Not all of them. He can't afford to give a massive start to all of them, but certainly the lower half of the field, he's quite capable of being back in the field and beating most of those home. I'm sure the camp would have preferred to draw front line, but I can't see that draw being, the be-all and end-all, and certainly won't be the end of his chances. But if he has to chase a really classy horse who makes it to the front, maybe in Old Town Road or either Republican Party or a horse of, Swayze manages to work through the field and then onto the front, I mean, it's going to set up a massive task for him. So if you're going to be backing him, you're going to need a few things to go in your favour for Akuta to win. But class-wise, it's just absolutely no doubt he can do it.
We've got On Loose Line's favourite tipster on, Tyler Dew. He's actually chimed in there. Here's a go, two legends. We've both got him in height anyway, Johnny. We got him covered in that Saturday point, but he doesn't tip too bad, the boy.
Oh, he can tip and he can produce one. The strike rate as a trainer is outstanding, and good to see him chiming in. We'll have plenty to say. I'm picking.
Yeah, the smaller they are, the more they yap. Isn't that how it works?
I've got no comment on that. I've got to interview this bloke in the next few weeks, Paul, so I've got to be careful.
I'll probably run into him and I'll be talking with a squeaky voice as well. What did Joe Pace say? Say hello to Phil from Joe Pace when you're talking to him.
Definitely will.
And more likely to get a hat off John than you, Paul. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. I got plenty of hats. I just don't share them around too much. At least Tyler's got the funny side of it. What's your highlight for the actual meeting outside of the Cup and probably a couple of the main races? You got a couple of little highlights there, Johnny?
Yeah, probably the old battle, really. Merlin versus Don't Stop Dreaming.
Yep.
Both drawn the outside of the gate and both over 2.6, which is going to be a great leveller for two young 3-year-olds.
That's in the junior free-for-all, is it?
Junior free-for-all, yeah. So both taking on older horses. You expect them to be first and second favourites, and you expect them to be obviously probably first and second home. But which order? If I had to pick one, I may be going probably the less favour of these predictions, but I'm probably going to go Merlin. I thought his fresh up run in that Group 1 Flying Stakes was absolutely phenomenal. Don't Stop Dreaming is an outstanding horse, but it's hard to split them. They're both just that good. So their head-to-head battle and the battle of tactics between them is going to be absolutely fascinating.
We've got the great Duncan McPherson watching as well. We've got them all, Johnny. We've got the
He's out to trot, isn't he?
We've got the Who's Who. Fresh is Best is his better one. We've got them all tuned in. I just haven't seen Brett Coffey. He's getting around there. What do you like tomorrow at Oamaru Harness? From Jeffrey FOKERD. That's on the YouTube feed. Johnny, do you know him?
I've heard the name. Toji will be winning at Oamaru tomorrow. Nice horse.
Oh, whoa. Hang on a second. You said that very, very quickly. What race?
Tochi, he goes around. I'm just trying to remember. He's in a standing start race. There's some confidence here. You've just rattled that off that quickly. Well, I'm not as confident as Mick Boots, who just went and bought the horse for big money. So he's going around in race 6. He's had one start for one win, and he beat an absolutely quality field, and some of those horses have gone on to do good things. He's off the 10 metres. He's trialled up well, looks a well above average horse. Only a 5-year-old having his second start at the races, would you believe? But they found this one in the wilderness, and he's got a motor, don't
By better than Cheddar, trained by Nathan Williams, and young Oliver Kite gets a drive on him. You're right about Joe Pace. He tried to buy him. He's into them all for you. He timed in there, and Tyler's all over.
He loves the Southern-bred, Joe. I've never had the pleasure of meeting Joe, but I know that he loves the Southern-bred horse. Just
count your fingers after you shook your hand, mate. You know how it works with us Aussies, so you never know how you'll go there. So you'll be right. He's a good man. No, I'll be in trouble. When he tunes in, don't you? He walks outside to have a coffin nail, and he goes outside and has a quiet little smoke, and then he goes back inside and he sneaks back outside. So he'll be sneaking out. We will be doing his health no good at all.
You got to stay away from those things, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Johnny, best way for people to keep up with your content is that through the tag I put it in there. I think it's Southern Harness News with Jonny Turner.
Yeah, that's it. Southern Harness News with Jonny Turner, the king of content. Apparently, that's what people were calling me. I don't know where that name came from, but it seems to be popping up all the time.
It seems to pop up on the side of your videos.
Yeah, I don't know how. Some sort of bug got on the system there, and who knows.
I don't mind. I just want to challenge you every now and then, but no, I don't care. I think it's actually very, very good, mate. I'm looking forward to catching up with you probably Monday by the sounds, with a bit of luck.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah,
Maggie Markham, as we said, we'll get a few guests. Kirsten's going to come on after. Well, it was a great weekend for her, and she's been very vocal for people to get behind Katie Cox as well. And I will put those parts where you can donate money to with Wiggy, the charitable trust, or the Harness Racing Australia events. It's shocking what has actually happened to Katie, and I think it's sometimes some of those good things, that Kirsten was right behind it, and then to turn around and have a weekend like she did, it's great. It's just good to see, isn't it?
Oh, yep. She's a great trainer and driver, but probably an even better person. So that's what counts at the end of the day. Win, lose or draw, doesn't it? So
yep.
Yeah, it's really great to see her getting a reward.
Yeah, no, she's and she was awesome when I went down there. She did a beach drive for me, and it was one of the most random ones. I should try and find it and repost it. But she starts talking about a naked man walking along the beach and people with white coats chasing after him and locking him up, and I thoroughly enjoyed listening to it. It was really, really good. And then I also saw the competitive side of it when she got involved with that. You have also donated, Johnny, I believe, to Katie Cox.
Yeah, it's just got to be done. I obviously encourage everybody to chip in what's affordable for them, and let's keep building that pot. I understand that Katie's obviously been able to access funding for the first drug that she'll be trying in her treatment, and if it's not going as hoped, she'll have to access a more expensive one. So let's keep building that total as far as I'm concerned.
No, I couldn't agree more. Diane Riley, I would imagine that she will be there Cup Day or Cup Week, so I look forward to catching up with Diane. And look out if Swayze wins, I would imagine. I'm not sure she's in the ownership, but that doesn't worry Diane. She'll just claim it anyway. And then Robbie Close is on as well, a lot of the Kiwis. Now, how do we say Jeffrey's name? Do you know how to pronounce it? Because I'm not going to try it because my Australian language is going to get me in trouble with that. Fokerd. Do you know the gentleman, Johnny?
Oh, I know. I've seen the name on Facebook on the harness pages, but don't ask me that because I'll end up getting in trouble as well.
I'm not trying that. But Jeffrey wants to know now, what are you tipping at Flemington tomorrow on Oak State?
Is this for me or you? I mean,
for you, it says it says what does Johnny like tomorrow at Flemington? No, the bloke knows how I tip, so he doesn't want to know mine.
I think Climbing Star in race 6 has got to be a chance.
You're the man. You just keep delivering. What? So I can't get that one up. What'd you say? Race 6?
Yeah.
Is it a Kiwi horse or not?
No. Kiwi horses haven't been setting the world on fire at Melbourne Cup Week, so we'll probably have to steer clear of them, to be honest.
I did see a post from one of you Kiwi gentlemen about all the Kiwi representation and that on the thing, but I did notice there was no follow-up on how well they all went. So it was one of those ones that went out there and didn't come back. Johnny, thank you. Look forward to catching up with you Monday and Tuesday, right through to show day on the Friday, it's a huge week, and it's what harness racing is about, and big meeting for the Australians here. It works beautifully. Just take 2 hours off the times that you can see, and it fits in perfectly. I think the first on Cup Day is 12 o'clock. Is that Cup Day? Did I go the right day? Yeah, it did. 12 o'clock, so 10 o'clock Australian time. And then they go after that. So a couple of short gaps, so make sure you're on the top of that for there. So, right, Paul Foster, this is going to be an in-joke. Skew-if went okay on... Oh, no, it's a Kiwi horse. Yeah, that's okay. I was thinking he was some sort of joke, but yes, I do know the horse now. So it's actually a horse, a mare over here that was already... But anyway, long story. Johnny, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me,
not
mate.
No problem, mate. Hey, race 4 tomorrow, Climbing Star. I think I might have said race 6, but get on. Willow's on.
Great.
Just enjoy the ride.
All right, very, very good, mate. Thank you.
Can't wait till next week, though.
Greatest
week for a harness fan all year in New Zealand. It's going to be absolutely outstanding. Beautiful, brilliant racing. It's going to be fun on and off the track. The best equine athletes, the best horsemen, best horsewoman. It just does not get any better. Can't wait.
And we'll see who is the king of content. We'll see who can get the most stuff out, eh? We'll go from there. No, I'm joking, but I am being serious right here, right now. Matty Williamson is actually tuned in, so he'll be able to tell your dad that you did sort of just give him the drive-by to stay on this show. So don't worry about that. I'll make sure that Dad knows before you ring him back.
Matty's got a horse in of ours tomorrow, so gee, I hate to see him up this late. I thought he would have been good early and sort of getting up early, doing all the form, and I guess he rates himself that highly that he sort of thinks he's done all the form. So,
well, that might be what he's tuned in for. He might be hoping you're going to tip it, and then he'll be
bit of inspiration, perhaps. Yeah.
He'll rest easy. They're a good family, the Williamsons. They're all a little bit different, aren't they? Matty, Nathan, and Brad.
Different? Gee, that's an understatement. No, they're great people, absolute champion people.
You got the goat, you got the smiling assassin, and then you got Matty. It's it's just a nice little combination, I reckon. So it's all good. Very good. All right, mate. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming on. It won't be the last time.
Always a pleasure.
Won't be the last time you're on this show. As I said, Monday we'll be live, but yeah, we'll be catching up with you as well a few more times, I reckon, especially leading into, because this is only the start of it. This is not the end of the carnival for New Zealand. Matty just went and checked on us. She's sound asleep, so he's happy.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, because I mean we've got Grand Prix. There's plenty of meetings, and even after Christmas, so there's plenty of highlights still to come for New Zealand harness racing. So you'll be on, mate. We've got to do the Central Otago tour, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there. Haven't missed it in the last 10 years or so. So there's no point in stopping you now.
It's going to be my first trip, so I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be a bit of fun, mate. So, rightio. Thank you, Johnny. I, as always, appreciate it, and I will see you at Worst on Monday next week, mate.
Sounds great, mate.
Thank
you. See you there.
See ya. That was Jonny Turner. He's always good. He's a great man. Southern Harness News with Jonny Turner. Go and Google it, or go and follow it on Facebook. Brings some great stories. He's got a couple there. Go back and watch it. If you like the stuff that I do, you'll like his stuff even better, because he has a lot of fun, and he has a wicked way about him, to say the least. He does a great job for harness racing as well. Or Matty Markin there too, the Three Stooges on tour. Thank you very, very much. We won't go there. I'm going to go from one Kiwi to another one. I hope he's still awake because he wears a few hats, this gentleman. So let's see. I'm just waiting to see if this is actually ringing. Oh, yep. So that's a start. Now hopefully, he said he was going to be watching, but I haven't seen his name pop up. Cameron? Not working, or is working. Cameron, are you there? He's there. He may not be there. Not sure what happened then. I was just trying to get Cam Bray on because there's some news coming forward. Get Jonny Turner on full time. Hello to you, Cam Brown from WA. Great racing on the weekend just gone, Cam, and weekend coming up. Probably need to get Campbell's comments over there so people are aware of it going on. But terrific derby, never ending, and Skyloo, well, weren't really fighting it out. Skyloo went straight past him, but terrific result for my friends at Woodlands with Sweet Lou going terrific. So, yep. So I'll try him again. He says he's there. I just couldn't hear him, but the phone was ringing. So hopefully it does answer. You there, mate?
Optus.
Do not pick on Optus. Thank you very much. Just had an issue there. I think Optus is still playing up a little bit. Hopefully people are
You got more than one issue, I think.
Nah, she just dropped out, but hopefully everything's good, and we're good to go. Thank you very much, Cameron. Behave yourself. So that one is fine. Firstly, Cup week is huge. It's a great week, isn't it? But to be a Kiwi, it's just a terrific meeting to be a part of, or meetings.
Well, it's a huge. If you're a racing enthusiast in Canterbury or even the greater part of the South Island, it's Christmas really, because you've got the gallops, you've got the dogs, you've got the trots. It's a huge week. So no, it's very exciting.
It is indeed, and I think we have a little bit of fun from time to time on the shows, but it's great if you put your NZB or your NZ board member hat on. Doesn't matter which hat you put on. It's what is the industry is about, where people get to showcase themselves and their horses, and a lot of hard work goes into delivering on the big stage, and it doesn't get any bigger than what this week coming up is.
It's a huge week, it's such a huge week for our participants, our breeders, our administrators, and as an industry, it's our big money week, really. We harvest. This is one of our biggest turnover weeks for New Zealand. I think still last year we set a record, I think it was, for Cup Day, and it's still one of the biggest, heaviest turnover race meetings in the country, regardless of code, for New Zealand. So it just shows you how important it is for us and for the economy in the Canterbury area too. Yeah,
and on that, sorry mate, I didn't have your photo up. People would have thought I was just talking to myself, which they'd find that hard to believe. At the end of the day, it's a spectacle, and it's something that I think people need to go there and appreciate it. I was lucky last year, and again lucky to be going this year. But I think once you've gone a couple of times, it's just something that's on people's bucket list, because it is a way to catch up with all your friends. People come from down south, Jonny Turner, to Cambridge, and higher than that, they'll come down to Christchurch as well, and then across from Australia.
Yeah, and it's something it's quite amazing. It is a big week in Canterbury. We have the Tuesday where we get 15 or 20,000 people to the races. We obviously have Show Day, which is Canterbury Anniversary Day. We have the Canterbury AMP Show on the same week, and then we still get the similar sort of amount of people to the gallops on the Saturday. So it's a huge week, not only for racing, for hospitality, for moteliers, the whole nine yards. It's a big go in Canterbury this coming week.
No, absolutely it is. Rightio, Joe Pace. Before we go there, Jill Stockman. She's just doing an awesome job. She'll become a content creator at Campbell's Comments and On Loose Lines. Don't worry about that. But your trotter won her trial today. Jill, I can tell you right now, the comments or the phone call that I got earlier on today, you want to start getting your bags packed for Queensland or wherever the Inter-Dominion is going to be in about 2 years' time, because he's already penciled her in. She's going to be there. Is that
I've
right?
booked the tickets, mate. I've already booked the tickets.
She went. That's it, isn't it? By the daughter of What the Hell?
It is, yeah. No, I was there. I went to the barrier draw. I even went away, and I come back 2 hours later specifically to watch it. So I'm right up for the play, Jill.
Where was Jill? Nowhere to be seen.
No, I didn't see her.
No. I
Busy working, probably. That'll be what she's doing. Busy working.
She wasn't at the barrier draw. So anyway, I'll get a clip behind the ear next time. Don't worry about that. And Brad Steele is on as well. The Queenslanders are in. Don't worry about that. They'll be looking for some Inter-Dominion coverage in a minute. And I gave them that. I gave them that last week, but we'll look after them again soon. So it'll be fine. Can Cam send me a NZB sales book? Guess who
I'll
that?
tell you what. Who's that? Who's sent you that?
Well, who do you think? I'll give you one guess.
Joe Pace.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll fly to Australia. I'll hand deliver him one, and I'll even bring a hat with me. I'll tell him I'll do it in a Fortnight Friday. I'll send Bendigo Trots Fortnight Friday.
He's got a. He's already got a hat.
Special trip for it, just for him.
He's already got a hat.
I've got a new one for him, different colour. The different colour for him.
Jill's still in Auckland. Working. It better not be white. Oh no.
No good.
No, whites are no good. They don't last. Anyway, when you said that, I was like, what colour would you have gone? So anyway, that's all right. ID 26 is in Queensland, according to Brad Steele, Cam. So you might want to get on your. You are an organised.
No, I told you it's booked already. I knew that. I'm already booked.
Oh yeah, I will say that you are a little bit more organised than I am. So yeah, true story. You did ask me what time I fly in. And I said I got no idea, and you weren't happy with that as an answer, were you?
No, well, Jesus Christ, it's not that far to go.
It's all sorted. It'll be fine. Well, Joe Pace. That's how nice. Cam thinks. We need to do a welfare check on Joe. I don't think he's feeling himself. Jared Maloney's on it. They've all tuned in tonight. And one of the hot points I told
you. I've said this to you before. I'm the ratings man.
I've just had the king of content. Now I've got the ratings man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But I won't even charge you.
I've got to pay Johnny for being on the show, apparently. So
yeah, no. Well, see, I'll go a bit more Christian then. I'll do it for nothing.
Righto. Let's straighten this up a little bit before it goes the other way. But NZB and the catalogues, you mentioned there before about the catalogues. You were going to come on our show next Monday, but unfortunately with work commitments, you're not going to be able to do that. But it will go live next week, I believe. Yeah,
the catalogue will be online next Wednesday. That went to the printer yesterday. So with a bit of luck, it should be getting printed or very close to it in the next day or so. It'll go online, say next Wednesday, with them leaving the print house sort of early the following week. So they should be starting to hit people's letterboxes sort of early mid-next, the week after Cup Week.
Yep, all right. And hopefully we say they're in the mail and on their way, because there can be a little bit of confusion from time to time, and that is not just a crack at New Zealand Post, it's any of the post companies. But hopefully they're there well and truly before Christmas.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, hopefully some of our mailing and post pressures have subsided now, with things sort of slowly starting to get back to normal. We did strike a lot of trouble with COVID. It didn't really help that we had a pallet of catalogues sitting out in the rain at Sydney Airport with Australia Post one year. That didn't really help me. But things are getting better. We're starting to get, as I say, air freight starting to, the air freight with the horses are moving around a bit more often, so we do put a lot of catalogues on with them too. So,
get them out there.
Yeah, they'll be out and about nice and early.
Karen Tomlinson is watching as well, so we've got plenty of people. Get involved as well. As I said, my question off the top of the show is about the Breeders' Crown, but also New Zealand Cup, and give some of your highlights and things that you like about the meeting, and what it means, if you're a Kiwi, what it means to actually be competing on there. And because I think last year I went over there, Cam, and done a lot of interviews with the people who won, I suppose, and found a few stories left. But I want to make sure people are aware that it's not always about winning at this meeting. It's just sometimes about being there. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of prestige about the day itself, and to be fair, I'll be over the moon if Elizabeth Hill can get up and race 10 or whatever it is. She's racing in on Cup Day too. So, to win on Cup Day is a big thing. I didn't
know she was racing Tuesday. I thought she was racing on the Friday.
Yeah.
What race?
No, Tuesday. The 10th, I think it is. The one before the Cup. The trot before the Cup.
Yeah, it's too. Hang on, we'll get that up. We'll go like that and then go to that. Can she win?
Oh, you think so? Ask Jill. She's going to tell you.
Jill, can she
She trialled
win?
good today. She trialled real good today. Yeah, she did all the way. She was good, yeah.
Who takes the drive? Timmy's on. Did they?
Yeah.
They only got the one in. That's yeah. See, if they had two in and Timmy was on, that gives you a bit more confidence. But the right man's there for the job. Good little field though. A little bit of interest in that field too. The Tomlinsons.
Yeah, and the fields are good, aren't they?
We had one of the Tomlinsons on just there before. Dennis Grieve, number one strapper for Not As Promised. Good to see him on there. And Jill says yes, just flat yes, Cam. So that's always a great sign.
Oh, right, eh?
Yeah, that's.
Jesus, I better smash the piggy bank by the sound of that.
Yeah, and Joe Pace says there, Paul and I are coming to the sales. I think Paul will be coming and Joe could be coming, but I reckon we better take it separately. I'll be in all sorts of trouble rocking up with him.
Oh, is that why you said you wanted the twin share room this year?
It's a G-rated show, Cameron. G-rated show. Cup field. The Cup field is massive. The one thing that from an Australian point of view, I love how big your fields are and how many there are.
Yeah, no, it's a good day. It's a big field, well, mind you. It's probably one of our premier race days. So the other day, the money's up and the fields are up. So it's, as I say, it's a great race day. I think when you look at the betting turnovers, I think the last race of the day is still named after the taxi firm. It used to always be the taxi firm was the last race of the day.
Gold Bands Taxis. Mobile Pace.
Yeah. Well, it's a rating race, and that's one of the highest turnover races outside of the Cup, because, that by that stage people are just flying.
Unfortunately, Jill doesn't have a runner in that. We could have seen if we could get out with Jill, but we can't. Jimmy Ray, Johnny Morrison, I hope he wins because he's a hell of a story. There's a lot of people there that are good stories, but Johnny is always a lot of fun. That's for sure. Apparently, it's the only trotter Mandy will have in the barn. But that could change or might be changing soon because I believe they've got quite a few other trotters.
There you go.
Is that right?
Well, they've got a handful of trotters. I think it's 3 or 4 they've got. They're all about the same age. So I hope they take more on. It'll be good.
Yeah, very good. Especially if they're by What the Hill, one of my other sponsors.
Employers.
Yeah, they always look after me. So. Yeah. All right. What else have we got? If you got for me something random that won't get me into trouble? Oh, hang on, Cameron. What's your thoughts on the Breeders' Crown? I don't know if you've noticed the size of the fields and things like that over here.
Well, I know the size of the fields because you've rung me every day for about the last 3 weeks about it. It's clearly not what it used to be, unfortunately, and that is a real shame. So I think, something does. You can't just keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. So there's clearly a mood for change within our industry. Obviously, and obviously yours, there's been some financial pressures come on your industry, and I think that does make you really do look at what you're doing. I don't think it can probably stay the way it's going, unfortunately. It's a sad state of affairs, but obviously we have to move with the times.
Yep. Yeah, no, it is. It's a little bit of a worry the way it's presented this year anyway, because I'm a Bendigo person. I can remember the inaugural running of it. I think from memory, they
2-year-old race, wasn't it?
It was all 2-year-olds at Bendigo, and I've got a feeling, I might be wrong, there might have been 14 races on the card. It was massive. Everyone wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, right.
To now. And Brad Steele's chimed in there as well, saying it needs to be reimagined, and it does. I actually have an idea on how to reimagine it, and I will do that in a sec, Cam, when I let you join off. It's still from a sales perspective. It's still something that I do always recommend to clients that they do have to pay their horses up for, regardless if they see value in it or not, because ultimately, whether you're buying them as a yearling, as a 2-year-old trial horse, or something that Joe's picked up and scouted out in the fields of Southland, it's still a chance for you through to its 4-year-old career and better. So you sort of need to be in to win, and it does help sell horses.
And again, it was a big thing here in New Zealand when we used to be able to have the heats here and go across, but obviously that's all changed. But I think they are going to have to see it reimagined slightly, otherwise you're going to end up losing some of the subscriptions they're getting here in New Zealand. Basically, they get a lot of horses, 350 odd horses pay up for that series here in New Zealand, and the reality is, look how many have gone round over there in the last wee while.
Yeah, and a lot of those would be potential people hoping that someone buys a horse knowing that it's paid up for the Breeders' Crown, you would imagine.
100%. You know, it's a bit like
instead of saying they're going to bring it across, we want people. The Breeders' Crown, we want. I remember going to one of the first times it was at Melton. Might have been even the first time it was at Melton, and just looking at Mark Purden's horses, Follow the Stars, I reckon won that year. I remember just looking at him and watching the presentation, the way those horses were turned out, and then you go there and watch them as horses on the track. It was just brilliant to watch, and we need to get these sort of days back. We all have our Vic Breds and we all have our own, I suppose, interstate or country, if you like, programs, but we do need something for the junior horses to be able to get across and show the wares and almost give bragging rights, Cam, if you like.
Well, it's like any model. You need to have aspiration, and regardless of what anyone says, no one plans to run round midweek in a rating race. We all want to strive to have a Breeders' Crown horse, an Inter-Dominion winner, a New Zealand Cup winner, your size stakes winner, etc., etc. So I think if you have that level of aspiration, and there's also a little bit of a Trans-Tasman element, obviously I think it's probably quite sad. The New Zealand participation into Dominion has sort of dwindled over the years just through, I think a lot of that comes down to the time of year. It's just a little bit challenging for people, especially now where our open class ranks have sort of probably got a little bit smaller over the last few years. But aspirationally, we have some. Look, you look at those fields, Cup Day fields. If there was a little bit of a let up and it wasn't, basically the following Friday, there probably would be a lot more horses go too. So we just have to. I've harped on to this about you before. There needs to be more collaboration between the countries at national and state level, because I think the only way forward for our industry collectively is working as a bit of a group.
Yep.
And I think, especially for our Grand Circuit and aspirational futurity racing, etc., there is a real argument that we should be sitting around the table and trying to work a program out, between the countries.
And not to say one's better than the other or anything else like that. And when I said bragging rights just then, I more mean that if Elizabeth Hill came over to...
horses.
Yeah, exactly. Elizabeth Hill comes over and wins the Breeders' Crown and you beat... You beat me in the race. Next time you see me at the New Zealand Cup or the Queensland Inter-Dominion or something...
I wouldn't have to see you.
You have that... you already have that little bit of banter going around. I'm going to let you go.
Well, use the analogy. It's probably a poor one, but look at the Melbourne Cup. We have horses coming from Ireland, France, get into quarantine, Barban, work the bloody house down at Flemington. They overhype these European horses every year. This thing's the real deal, and it didn't work out, right?
Yep.
Those sort of things are intriguing, and it gets buy-in and interest from multiple parts of the world for that.
It's not Groundhog. It's not Groundhog Day like what we have at the minute, where it just seems to be us competing against each other.
There's something to be said that horses, something like, you imagine something like Millwood Nike all of a sudden, it did all its did here in New Zealand and then went to the British Grand Final.
Yep, exactly.
How would that be? Not to say that it'll ever happen or whatever, but that's the sort of level of interest we need in our harness racing for us to. Look, I don't think we're going to compete with the Gallopers, but to crawl back some of that space we've lost.
Yep. And we need a reason for people to be able to travel and go from there. Maurice McDermott is on, Cameron. Wonder if I'm going to get a random parade ring conversation with him this year, like it did last year. That raised a few eyebrows. It raised a few eyes on some people. I can say that. They were like, "Oh no," but it was all good. It stayed G-rated, and we went for Cup Day. Cam Brown is watching from WA. Nick Hooper, Josh Smith, Charlton Harness Racing Club. They are coming, Cam. Andrea and the crew will be there. So that is
Cool.
back onto there. Alex Hurley, 100% Cam on the collaboration. David Flynn, Morris McDermott, and Alex Hurley again. And I get trainers involved in the conversation about what's possible for horses to give the most chances to the best young horses to compete in the best races. Don't disagree,
100%.
don't disagree with that,
100%.
Alex, but they're also got to listen to the people who know.
And to be fair, like there has to be a bit of a rethink. Well, not a rethink, but there has to be. We're going to have to reshuffle if we want to do anything like that. You're going to have to reshuffle the decks, the chairs on the deck too, because bearing in mind, it wasn't too many years ago we changed the season, or in our case here in New Zealand, the official birthday of the Standardbred.
Yep.
So now we have a calendar year season rather than the old historical season. So by that nature, we've ended up jamming a heap in between October and the end of December.
Yep.
And then you turn around and say, well, right, let's turn around and put a Trans-Tasman program in amongst that. So there is going to be a lot to work through so that, because one thing you do have to do, and I think the Gallopers have done really well in Australia, is they've let every state have their moment in the sun in their carnivals around Australia. They've done a very good job of that, albeit probably has just become a little bit blurred between Victoria and New South Wales in recent times.
Don't know what you're talking about.
South Australia have their great carnival. Queensland have their great carnival in the winter time. All those things, and I think they do work well.
Yep. No, don't disagree. Morris McDermott's waiting for me already, and Charlton can't wait. So they are going to be there as well. Cam, thank you. I appreciate your time. It's 10 o'clock in New Zealand, so I do appreciate your time as always. I will be catching up with you while we are over there, but unfortunately you won't be on the Monday. Don't know what I'm going to call it. I can't call it the New Zealand show or Over the Ditch, but it will be just live in Australia from 12, in New Zealand from 2. We'll be doing a full preview of the meeting, catching up with people like Kirsten Green, which will be great. Great little story the other day, wasn't it, Cam? Like, I think she took 7 to the races and didn't miss a place.
How good.
Yeah, it is.
That's just great. Something we should be really heralding, too. She's doing a great job with her horses, and as you say, she's a great person, Kirsten, and she's a real pin-up for our industry.
Tell Cam he shouldn't be on his phone driving around a roundabout this afternoon, Morris McDermott.
I just said to Morris, but when they text me, I don't remember going through the roundabout.
Did you get off the roundabout? That's a better point. If you're just going round and round and round.
I straightened the right up.
The one thing about this world, you can't get away with it on camera, and that's very irresponsible.
No.
And I of all people know that because Anyway, we won't go there.
Well, exactly. You've pinned phone infringements on me too when I've been in Australia. So I know what it's all about, Paul.
I've got an update on that too. I'll have to tell you one day, so that's okay. Jackie Gibson. It's not good either, Cam. Jackie Gibson is watching as well. So hello to you, Jackie. All right, mate. Thank you. Hang on a second. Hang on one sec. Clint McSwain, just in case it's for you. I think we try too hard to keep... Oh, hello. He's on our rate. Thoroughbred slot races. You missed one part. I totally agree with you so far, Clint. And the greyhounds. We need to think ahead. As slot races are old news now with the gallops already banking in with them. Don't disagree. And we've had this conversation earlier this week. Then we try to follow the gallops, try to outdo the greyhounds. We need to be our own entity. Seriously, Cam, was it Monday, I reckon, Cam, we were talking about it, wasn't it? We were saying about the fact that we have to be... And
there's always going to be the economy of scale when it comes to slot races, and that's where the thoroughbreds have got to be hand down, I can't see it being the way forward. Look, I think they're great for what they are to. I commend everyone that's been involved with them today. But I think as the cycles go on, it's going to become harder and harder to resubscribe those slots,
Yep, definitely. And, it's going to be a challenge for the industry going forward. But we've got challenges. We just got to pull the socks up and have a crack and ask hard questions. And that's what I say about the Breeders' Crown. I think everyone thinks it. There's a lot of people talk about it. But I think the reality is it's in a lot of trouble. Not sustainable the way it's going. There's no worries there. But we do need it on our radar, as you say.
Our industry, it should be able to be changed. It needs to change because when that concept was born and given life, it was a very, very different industry. Chains have changed. You know, even since post-COVID, racing patterns have changed. People's behaviours have changed in regards to going out, etc., etc. So, like, you know, I mean, we shouldn't be afraid to change. And you know, we got through the season change, and look, we tipped the whole thing on its bloody head, and we've come out the other side of it. So now it's just a matter of making some tweaks and empirical changes.
And I reckon we're better for it, Cam. I think the racing's better for it, and I think the horses...
Well, what we also did is we unshackled ourselves from the past by doing it.
Yep.
And I think sometimes, and this is not meant to be said in a negative fashion, sometimes I think we hang on to how good harness racing was, and we've got to get back to that. The reality is we're not going to get back to that, but we need to get back to a position where we are economical, sustainable, and have a prosperous future.
Absolutely. Cam, you're going to have to hang on for at least an hour. Katie Perry Evans, number one owner in New Zealand, has joined the show.
Who's that?
12 months, mate. It's been 12 months.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Kaikoura, 12 months last week. 12 months last week in Kaikoura.
Time flies. What a relationship we've been able to build. She's wiped us about 3 times, but she's back today.
Yeah.
Hey?
No, good on her. Good on her. Again, good on her, and good on them for the wee share they had in the horse that won last week.
Yeah, went very, very good to, what was it called? Head 'em Up. We've already had that horse name come up, Jonny Turner. Yeah, no. She gets a bit of free play.
No doubt Katie would have rung Paul and probably given the instructions, I would have suggested.
Oh, Paul Nan, I was going to say, yeah. So, yeah. Oh, she's on the treadmill at the minute. The hamster wheel, you're going round and round and round. I wonder how the weather is in Wales. I don't think we have to ask, do we, Cam, if she's on the treadmill?
Mate, look at Instagram. It'll be posted on Instagram already. Probably pissing down with rain, I'd say.
Don't you throw rocks about the Instagram either. So yeah, there's certain things you need to.
No, great people, and that's how good it is, mate. Cup week, people come and they want to have an extended honeymoon, and they've taken in Kaikoura Cup and the New Zealand Cup. So that shows you what it is. It's
correct me if I'm wrong, they came to Australia for the Breeders' Crown, did they not? And shows as well, but the Breeders' Crown was one.
I might have done, they didn't do it. They didn't give Australia a big rap though when I talked to them later.
Oh, they love my hospitality. They did. So she judged some shows and did horse shows. She did everything. Don't you worry about that. And she's saying it's shitting it. So in other words, I'd say that's Wales for a very ordinary day. Would you say, Cam?
Yeah, it's coming off the back of summer now, I suppose. But
the Inter-Dominion she was over.
Yeah, no, it does seem to rain there quite a bit.
No, absolutely. All right. Well, the treadmill can't be going too bad. She can text as quickly as we say any comments.
Well, it's better than you when you're running. You can hardly speak, let alone text.
You might find this surprising by my physique, but the running has been off the cards for a week or two, so I've been in all sorts of trouble. So, a week or two, month or two. Cam, I'm going to put up my way of doing the Breeders' Crown. I was going to get rid of you, but it's okay at the minute. But this is one of my points. I'll put it up. You probably haven't got Facebook in front of you, but 10 points per win. So if this was a 2-year-old, every time you win a race, you get 10 points going to the Breeders' Crown. Of course, you've got to be paid up for the Breeders' Crown. 50 points for a listed race. So if you win a race like the Nutrient Classic, the APG, or the NZB Millions. Now, is it Millions or Million, Cam?
Harness Million.
Harness Million. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name, so I was in trouble there. 50 points for that. So if you're a 2-year-old and you win that. 60 points if you win a Group 2 or Group 3. Now, I don't think there's any, definitely not in Victoria anyway, but I left it at that for the 2-year-old, a Group 2 or Group 3 event. And then 100 points if you win a Group 1 or your state's Breeders' Final or your futurity. The only points you accrue are through win only, and they are state by state and country by country. So Australia and New Zealand, it works the same way for all of those. Top point scorers go into the final. There is no semis, there are no heats. Horses come from everywhere. If the budget could happen, if enough people sustain to the race, you might be able to work out a plane trip for the New Zealanders to take a little bit of that pressure off, because what is it, about $10,000 now to fly across, Cam, I would imagine?
No, not quite. I think it's about 8.5 time you add on all the export bloody rubbish, that you have to pay.
So potentially to have it, you turn around and fly them, offer the same for Queensland. So you might blow $30,000 or $40,000 in airfares to make it an even playing field for everyone. Win only, got to be paid up for the Breeders' Crown. No late payments. 2 and 3-year-old races only, and get the best of the best. This race is going to be going.
So someone just, and you know this question because I've already thrown it at you once already. What happens if you place in a Group 1?
Bad luck. It's the best of the best. Winners only, and I know.
So you're going to judge it. You're going to judge a Group 3 or an open 2-year-old race higher than someone who places a Group 1.
Yep. Unfortunately, yes, because I don't want a grey area to it. I just want winners only.
You're a tough man.
Best of the best.
Man.
Well, you imagine then you do get Millwood Nike over. If you can get the right sort of money on it, you get the right show on it. Good night, Gillian. Have a lovely night. Say good night to Steve too. Give him a kiss on the shoulder for me, please. Not on the neck, just the shoulder.
Poor old Steve. Poor old Steve's going to sleep in the spare room now.
Yeah, but I just think I've missed something then. Got a message from somewhere, but
you gone?
No. Just got a text message from the great Mark Hughes. I just got to go and look.
Oh,
prize money now.
the Bushranger.
Prize money. You can't talk. I see you've got rid of the porn mustachio. So
how do you know?
Well, on my picture I've got there in front of me, you have.
That's a good photo too. I will say that. I'll find that for you, like.
But anyway, prize money, Joe Pace, it would be as sustained. This day and age of guaranteeing prize money doesn't happen. So if it only ends up being a $20,000 race, Joe, the Kiwis won't come, the Queenslanders won't come, and no one will come. And I can understand that. So people who pay up for it, but that is all the people that are paid up for it. It would either.
Well, it's going to be a group race, is it not? It's going to be a group race. So it should attract some sort of industry funding because they'll ultimately reap the benefits from that punting. So I can see you will be better than this. But I understand the methodology. What you're saying is basically the pool is derivative of the subscription. Yep. Am I correct?
Yeah. So if someone puts in $10,000, if Victoria turns around and says we'll put $50,000 up as a base rate, and then whatever comes after that, it's at least sustainable for an industry to go forward and have sustainable races. Back to what Clint McSwain was saying there before, and he mentioned state of origin, and that I don't disagree with state of origins. I think I know what he was meaning to take on the best of the best, but that's what I'm saying. Get the best of the best for one race, but promote it in a totally different way. It's something the thoroughbreds can't do, and we can do. So, what Mark Hughes was alluding to there was very pretty. The daughter of American Ideal out of the Good Times, a mare that Peter Manning used to race for a long time. It was actually a very, very good mare. It's actually rolled Luxa Turner. She's actually, the Good Times is out of Larrakia Lady. Bit of breeding royalty in both of those mares just there, Cam, that's for sure. So, but yeah, very pretty. That's in the first heat of the Breeders' Crown tonight. Luxa Turner, Cam, as a person for breeding too, the mother, who the arch nemesis, now has had 3 of her progeny break 150. It's an amazing effort for a horse down under, isn't it?
Oh, and you know, she's a star, isn't she? You know, followed her right back. She won the Bathurst, didn't she?
Who? Luxa Turner.
Luxa Turner, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So she had a huge campaign, and like she was outstanding in the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge final, wasn't she?
Yeah, she won the pink bonnet, the gold tiara.
What?
She won the pink bonnet, the gold tiara, the Nutrient 2-year-old. And then she's gone through and she's won the Breeders'
Challenge. Then she set the record. She set the Phillies record, didn't she, in Manang, didn't she?
Yeah. Just trying to find it. Yeah, 49.9. Yep, for 2-year-old fillies.
Yeah.
You know, like we saw I Keep Smiling the week before. We had Jackie on there before. I Keep Smiling went, there's Jackie there. She's got the fists up, strong. She's an American Ideal person, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know what the strong's for, actually. But obviously, yeah, good to see, and good for Brooklyn Lodge. I was going to say Ben and Mel Setri, but Brooklyn Lodge is something for them all. Yeah, she's a rating 103. Luxa Turner is now. That's another story for another day. That part of it, but yeah, good to see, and it's just good that we have these quality mares down under, can sell these horses, the progeny, to America. And they can go on. I'm just trying to. It wouldn't have brought them up. Captain Crusader.
Well, it is quite cool. It is quite good that our stock has always performed well, coming from Australia and New Zealand going to the north. That we can actually now start to replicate some of these more credible times for the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a question to ask you, Cam, in a sec. Crunch Time had already gone 49.6, so it was Captain Crusader was the horse that went. I think he went 49.8 actually from memory, and she's got a 49.9 next to her name. So the mares had 5 foals to the races. Good Time Smash 'em is a filly by Rock and Roll Dance, had 1 start and nothing else. Then Our Redemption, a horse that Ben Setri actually trains, has won $3 and $40,000 in stakes. And then you have Luxa Turner, 9 from 9. And I presume these only got the American records in them, Cam, but I might be wrong. Captain Crusader, 21 wins. And Crunch Time, 24 wins. So, yeah, Alf Laspina, Queensland, very good breeder. One thing they are, Brad, still, is awesome people. No airs and graces about them. They are just an absolute lot of fun to be around as well. So, and that's one of the things I do enjoy. Nutrient, I'll throw my other hat on. There is a full brother going through the sales in Sydney, but obviously by Captain Treacherous, will be offered up this year. So that's something exciting for people to look forward to. So it's a full brother to her, and also Captain Crusader, who I believe is a horse that's just gone 49 as well. So that's huge. Timing can be everything sometimes, can't it? So, yeah.
Oh, a lot of this business is all about timing.
It is indeed, and yeah, go from there. Charlton Armstrong, please ask Cam what race meetings are on trots or gallops week of the Cup. We are going all out. Well, you got to come to Riccarton. We'll get you to Riccarton. It starts this Saturday at Riccarton. Yep.
And that is the now I always get balls up between it's either the 1,000 or 2,000 guineas this Saturday, which is a Group 1 race. Then we have Cup Day, obviously Tuesday. Wednesday is Copeland's Mile Day, back with the gallops at Riccarton.
Yep.
Thursday's Ashburton trots. Friday show day trots at Addington. Saturday is the last day of Cup and Show Week, which is either the 1,000 or the 2,000 guineas,
yep,
plus the New Zealand Galloping Cup,
yep,
over 2 miles at Riccarton.
Yep. And then Sunday you jump on.
And there'll be something on Sunday. There'll be something on Sunday, but you'll be buggered by then. You've had enough. You've done your day. You're looking forward to get back to Charlton.
But you missed one, Cam. The New Zealand
Greyhound
Cup is on Wednesday night. So you go New Zealand Trotting Cup, which is for the Paces, Tuesday.
Correct.
Then you go to Riccarton for 1,000 guineas, I'm going to say, Cam, from memory. And then you come back to... no, it's not 1,000 guineas, no.
No, Copeland's Miles on Wednesday, Copeland's Miles.
Sorry. And then you come back to... You finish at Riccarton Gallops, and you come back to Addington, and you go to the Dogs. It is massive. You want to like pizzas, and you never know who you'll meet there. It is a lot of fun. The great Cam Grant, you never know who he's going to bring to the party. And then, you have a nice, quiet day the next day. We're at Rangiora, Wednesday?
No, Thursday's Ashburton, always Ashburton. There's 2 or 3 of the size stakes races they have down there on that meeting.
Yep, sorry, that's Thursday, yep.
And then we go back to, obviously, show day, so the Dominion and the free-for-all on Friday on show day at Addington. And then, obviously, you round out the week back at Riccarton for the... and I might... It's either I think it's the 1,000 guineas plus the New Zealand Cup.
We're in trouble, Cam. The Greyhounds are on Thursday night after Ashburton, and that is right, because we left Ashburton to get home, because we had to...
Did we?
Yeah, the great Cam Grant.
Oh, sorry, because Wednesday the races, the gallops... more of a twilight thing up, and I think they go into the early evening,
Yep. So there is plenty to do. You won't miss out on anything, Andrea, and the crew will make sure of that. So Emily will get your tickets. I'll just throw her under the bus, hey, Cam?
Why not? You've got to be good at that.
Absolutely. Excellent. Here we come. Will be great Cup Day. a terrific example of how an event should be run. It is, and hospitality.
And one thing I will say is because you see the different, so if you go to the Gallops, you see the way they do it, which is more of a, and you've been cool. And unfortunately they've lost their old grandstand.
Yeah.
And when you come this time round, you'll see that's actually gone now. It's been removed after 13 years since the earthquake. They finally called that down. But it's a very grass orientated, outside car boot type thing where Addington's a little bit different. And then you can go to Ashburton, as I say, on the Thursday, and that's more of your, what do you call that, Paul? A bit more of your country type meeting.
Ashburton.
Yeah.
But it's a must because of the history at Ashburton at the that tea room. I think I'll get into trouble.
Yeah.
But
yeah. The what do they call that? Yeah, the kiosk, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must go to Ashburton. I think all harness people should go there and have a look and
spend an hour or so wandering around that museum thing they have there.
The colours up around the ceiling. It's just terrific. It'll give the guys at Charlton a really Charlton are known for their hospitality, and I'm not saying that because I get paid. I don't do much MC work. I reckon the hospitality they show and the way they go about what they do is awesome.
Well, you might get a bit more. You might get a bit more now after that rap.
No, I doubt it. Joe's a pretty hard man to get past. He doesn't sweet talking doesn't work for him, so that can be a bit hard. So it'll be right. I might get a clip you on the ear when I see him. Don't worry about that. So yeah, but anyway, very good, Cam. Thank you. I'm hopefully going to get Paddy Lee on. I've got one more phone call to make, but please, anyone that is watching, get involved. I don't know, Cam, if you saw the race, Swan Hill Trotters Cup the other night, but the winner of Kiang Ignite was just outstanding. Another lightly raced horse, but a horse that I wanted to highlight and get people's thoughts out there. So good to see it. It's just a good story. I think it's had a few injuries. Done Cup Week twice, and glad the second time someone was driving me around. Jamie Lee King, hello to you, Jamie, from Durham Park. Good to have you on. It is an awesome. It is awesome. I don't drink, so I'm one of those drivers, Clinton, so you don't have to worry about me at all. Do come in. You get pretty popular after a long day, don't you, Cam? Another non-drinker or minimal drinker.
Minimal drinker, yeah. I do become people's friends here later in the day, I tell you.
Yep, they don't want to talk to you at the start, but at the end of the day, they do. All right, mate. Thank you.
Good on you.
I will get... that's at Philly. Wow. Sorry, I was just daydreaming, Camp, but I'll get you. I'll catch up with you next week when I'm there for Cup Week, mate. But thanks for coming on at reasonably short notice.
No problems, mate. Always a pleasure.
That was Cam Bray there. I was just actually looking at Zenere Bow is actually the Sweet Lou filly out of You Ask Ali, coming down, bred by Alison Miles. Will go from one hat to another. So that's a graduate of the nutrient sales last year. Has to be last year because she's a 2-year-old filly. So yeah, last year's sales. I think she made about 45,000. So one start, one win, and good to see her here at Bendigo racing in the Bendigo the Breeders' Crown for the 2-year-old fillies and making the fields up. So she'll be going round very shortly. I'm just going to try and see if we can get Paddy Lee on. I don't actually have a picture of Paddy Lee, so I'm not sure what I will do there. Now I'm in trouble here because I've got two phone numbers. Not sure who's who at the zoo. We'll just try it. What's the worst can happen? Be the wrong person. Better turn that up and that one down. He is out on his farm, so he may not answer this, unfortunately. It's not going to ring. Yeah, unfortunately, I've got a little bit of an issue. But anyone that didn't see the win of Kiang Ignite, go back to Swan Hill results and check that out. It was a brilliant win the other day. Actually, here he is. He's back. Let's see if we can get him. Paddy Lee, hello to you. No. One of us is having trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if it's me, actually. I might turn Let's see how we go this time. Paddy, are you there, mate? Cannot get Paddy on the phone at all. He's there, but we can't hear him, which is unfortunate. So, try him one more time because he's trying to answer, and I would like him to answer. So, I think he's there. Are you there, Paddy?
Hello?
Paddy's there, but for some reason... Hello, mate.
Hey.
How's it all going? Like, for some reason, my audio switcher didn't want to pick you up at all. Now it has. You there now, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you better there now.
Yeah, me too. I can hear you. Firstly, thanks for joining me, mate. I appreciate you've been working. I think you've been out cutting hay.
No, I got out of that one, so...
A couple of things I want to talk to you about. Number one, mate, firstly, I want to talk about Kiang Ignite the other night at the Swan Hill Trotters Cup. Firstly, congratulations. It was a brilliant win. He's a breathtaking trotter just to watch the way that he actually trots.
Yeah, no, he's always just had that motor, and I think one thing going his way, he just tries that hard. You can see that when he's going, he just gives it all he's got, and that's all you can really ask for in a horse. If they try their hardest, and that you're happy to keep feeding them.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's got a brilliant action. Like I gather, he's got a few injuries, and I'll ask you about those in a minute. You might tell us about them all or not. But when you got horses like One Overall chasing you down, and he's a serious class horse. He's performed on both sides of the ditch too, and in some of the bigger races. For a horse that's had, 9 starts, or is it 8 starts, might be only 8 starts now, 6 wins, and to be able to run away from a horse like him, it's an amazing effort.
Yeah, no, it was a good effort. A lot of work's gone in with him. I suppose that's just the toll of the long gap between the 3-year-old now. Just the amount of ability that he does have is just that mindset to try and keep having it go and get him back to the races, because he's got that explosive speed to really light up the track, and probably not very often you get them come along like that. So you keep trying to do everything you can in your powers to make sure you can get them back. But in saying that, he was One Overall did give him a fairly head start with the handicap, and so. But no, he was still good enough to hold him off. Yeah,
exactly. He had the handicap, but he's also One Overall's got the race experience and the race hardness as well. So there's two sides to that. To that, that's why he had the handicap, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, he was still good enough to hold him off. But I know in those races, when you're off the front, you can sort of get going. And he did cop a lot of pressure through that middle half as well. So he did well to keep coming at the end. The
penny drops into a minion class horse and kept him honest, and he's kept a lot of horses honest and buried them, and your bloke was able to run away and he beat him alone very comfortably, but as I said, hold off a quality horse. What were his injuries, Paddy, or what's held him back for so long?
Well, after he won that Group 1 as a 3-year-old, he just went out and had working back up, and he had a check ligament up at the top of his suspensory in a hind leg that was giving him a bit of an issue. So he went to the Ballarat Veterinary Clinic and had that sort of split or checked, whatever they call it. But when it was done, he was actually still a colt, and he come home and he was behaved really bad in the box and got an infection in it, and sort of just blew out the back of his hock like a big abscess. So he ended up spending probably nearly 3 months or 4 months down at the Ballarat Veterinary Clinic, just in a little property close by where they could check it and try and shrink it down and get it right. So he spent sort of 3 or 4 months out with that, and then when he come back, he had to have a good spell to try and let it all heal back up. And then after that, he sort of had a little bit of bone bruising, which also, with any horse or any sort of thing with bone, when he come back up the next time, so that also extended his time when he went out for another spell. And then when he come back the next time, got near ready to trial and had a little suspensory issue in front, which was very minor. It was only a slight suspensory tear, so he had to go back out with that. And he actually went to Lee Everson's place, and Lee did a really good job with him. He went there for 6 weeks and come home and had a spell, and then he actually went back there for another 8 weeks. And I've also learned a lot of things off Lee just from talking to him on the phone with his updates and stuff. He's been great. And then, he had a spell and he's worked back up from there. And just a little few issues then just with his gait, with all those sort of things going wrong, just trying to get it to smooth out. And, the whole team at home's going to put a lot of money and hard work into getting him back.
Must be so rewarding. He was 4 from 4, won a group race. You think the sky's the limit, and then I would imagine there'd be a few times everyone would be thinking, well, we've got no chance. The one thing you guys are is a massive family and a massive, it's a group. It is a business. It's run like a business in a way too, but there is so much emotional attachment, if you like, with the family aspect of it. It must be so rewarding to get him back and winning and performing like he did at Swan Hill and like he has pretty much every run this time in.
Yeah, for sure. I know the whole family was really thrilled with his run the other night, and I suppose they put a lot of money into rehabbing him, and just the thought of long time off, is it really worth it? But I think at the end of the day, his ability holds into where he shows his best foot at the races, and it's great just to win that race the other night. Just come back and win the one, but that race the other night was terrific.
Are the injuries something that could set him aside any time, or are they like?
To be honest with you, they could put anything and probably come up with at any time.
Yeah.
Just being the high speed that he is, but at the minute he seems like he's in probably a good space, the best he's probably been in a long time at the minute. He's sort of found his groove, and he's got a lot of things, going his way at the moment, and he's racing like that. But, you never know, I guess. You just got to sort of take it day by day. But at the minute, I think he's in a sort of pretty good groove, and just need to keep it rolling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think horses like him, we've got to celebrate. The industry needs them. I mean, it would have been a great thrill. Swan Hill have always had their Trotters Cup, always had nice horses going around, and I think sometimes we undersell the achievements of people behind the scenes, what they do, but then also just purely what you actually see. Like, go back and watch that whole replay of Swan Hill. If you're a harness racing lover, you don't have to be a trotting lover. I did speak about him on the trotting show the other night. It's just, you watch him and he's just breathtaking to watch, and then the little bit of the story behind. I think it's just great, and I think also, as I say, well done you guys for taking him to a place like Swan Hill and showcasing him, because someone might have fell in love with the Trotters just off the back of watching him in that action.
Yeah, for sure. He grabs your eye on the tally too. Sort of when he stretches out, he gets in full flight. He's a lovely sight, but you see things like that and lovely horses, and I suppose that's what people like to see is, things like that, just to showcase our sport and trying to entice more people and, young ones watching that. It'd be push forward in our sport. It's great to see, really, but, I'm sure there's plenty of nice horses that also other people keeps them enticed in the game.
Yep, no, absolutely. One thing I want to ask, did you just forget the colours?
A funny one that I think a few people have asked Jace if he popped by KFC on the way too, just Swan Hill trying to fit into Herbie's colours. But no, we did. Well, I don't usually. I try and stay out of that. It's usually Mum's always packing Jason's bag, but I'd say he might have left his washing or his colours behind. I'm not too sure, but he definitely looked like he filled Herbie's colours out.
I did notice. I was watching and I was trying to find him the first time. I went back and I'm like, oh yeah, there he is there. So it is good. Paddy, I could talk to you forever, and I want to actually probably call out the farm. We've threatened to do this a few times with your straight track and your swimming hole, and that would highlight a little bit of what you guys have got going on there. But I don't even know the answer to this. We did a stallion tender trying to raise some money for the club to get the shed finished. One, is the stallion tender finished?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was finished, and I think they all got sold, but I'm not sure what it actually raised. But I think it went really, really well. I'm pretty sure it was all done, and Terang had their first meet the other night, and the barn lit up. It was a glowing sight, actually.
And I spoke to Grant because I was trying to get you guys on the Talking Trotter show, and then I sort of had a little bit of a look, and I'm thinking, well, it couldn't have gone out at a worse time. I think you guys had 6 runners in 2 races, so you had horses going everywhere. But how was the meeting, and how did the shed work? I mean, the shed looked great, but how did it actually work on the night?
Yeah, no, the meeting was fantastic. I mean, I think most of the train community showed up. I sort of walked in at race 2 or 3 and looked up the home straight, and you couldn't see a spare spot on the fence. It was great. The new walkway through the barn was between races 3 and 6 was full. People were just flocking through there, looking at horses and smiles on their face over the fence. And that's what all the when you walk past all the trainers too back at Terang, there was smiles on people's faces everywhere. I think it was just the shed. You walked into the shed and it was glowing and plenty of room, and it was just it was a great night, and everything worked really well, I think.
You're a bit spoilt for riches when you think about it there, because I think your track's on a par with Bendigo as one of the best tracks in the state. It's very similar to Bendigo. Race is very similar to Bendigo as well, and Melton for that side. Now you've got a fully enclosed stabling complex with, and it's designed around trainers. You guys have had a lot of input into it to make it easier for people to put horses in the carts and take them out. A bit of the envy of a few of the other tracks in the state, I'd say, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be, but it probably just goes back to, your Terang owners and trainers group and the Terang Harness Racing Club and all the locals that just put so much time and effort in. And you've got to look at, people from Bendigo and Maryborough and Swan Hill, I'm sure, when there was raffles and those things and stallion tenders. All these people have bought raffle tickets and stallions over the past 5 to 6 years. It's been a long work in progress. It just hasn't happened overnight, and I think everyone deserves a pat on the back, because when you walk into that barn the other night, especially me, as a trainer, you walk in there and you think, geez, I can walk in 15 years and feel warm and comfortable and in a great environment.
And that is one of the things, and it's one of the things that Grant alluded to too, that the shed is for your climate as such, but not the hot weather. But Grant's worry was the other day going there that it was a pretty warm day. I think he said it was about 28 degrees, and he's thinking, gee, this shed's been tailored around a cooler climate. I wonder what it's going to be like. And he said it was just brilliant. He reckons it was so good.
It was probably slightly a little bit warm in the shed, but I'm sure, there was no, we hadn't got hooks or anything or anything to put bags or stuff on to rest at the back. So I think the main aim was just to get back racing there, and we can always sort of add some roof fans in. And I know there's some lovely windows on the fast of the barn. We can open them right up when it's really warm. But a few people said, "Oh, it's a bit warm in here," and I said, "That's okay. Just come back in the middle of winter and you'll be quite happy."
When's the Cup? In March? I've been there in March and I haven't packed enough jackets. It can get very chilly there, that's for sure. And it can get chilly on a very nice day. That's the worst part about it.
Well, it was funny. I think it was 28 degrees, and then between race 3 and 4, we had a bit of a hailstorm come through for about 5 to 10 minutes. And you walk back out when it had cleared up, and it was just still muggy and warm. It's a very funny area, but we love it here, and very excited to have the new barn. I think it won't wear off for a while.
No, good as gold. Paddy, thank you. Thanks for joining me, mate. I appreciate it. It is a bit late, but with the New Zealand Cup on, I wanted to give the guys in New Zealand a bit of a run, because there's plenty happening over there. But I do want to highlight, good achievements. I think what you guys are doing, I love what you're doing with your trotters. I always have, and we will catch up at some point, mate, and have a good chat about them and the direction the farm are heading with your horses. I think you're great, doing good that way. But thank you very much for joining me, mate. Well done to Terang Harness Racing Club. You could pass my congratulations on to everyone, because it did look like it was a roaring success. And hopefully we see Kiang ignite racing for many, many years to come, mate, because he's an exciting horse, and yep, he's going to be a lot of fun for everyone to come and watch and see, and a lot of fun for the farm, I would imagine.
No worries at all. Thanks, Paul.
No, thank you very much, Paddy. That's Paddy Lee joining me there. He was a breathtaking run. It really was. It was a super race to watch and to be a part of it. It's a bit of a wrap. As I said, come up with some ideas on how we can fix the Breeders' Crown. What do we do? How can we change it? I'm open for plenty of ideas. Make sure you keep in touch with all of my sponsors as well. Haven't looked after them too well. I think I've worn most of my hats, so I haven't had my Harass Trotters hat on this week, but with the Trotters as well. But make sure you get involved. That one won't work. I just got to, just give me 1 sec. Actually, I forgot I had this here. Yep, the Woodlands, the team from Woodlands. That is their stay-in roster with Bettor's Delight, Down by the Seaside, Speeding Spurs, Sweet Lou, and What the Hill, all standing in New Zealand. But their semen is available chilled here, and of course, American Ideal and Lather Up here in Victoria at Lower Long Farms in conjunction with Woodlands Farms. So make sure you keep an eye on those there. Just going to go back to Bendigo while we're doing that. Not that anyone knows what we're doing, because the second of those heats was won by He's Watching. So Jamie Lee King was on there before, and they've taken it out with Draw a Dream by He's Watching out of Illustrator, beating Destiny Stride and Eureka Joe. So that is the second of the Breeders' Crowns. First was taken out by Very Pretty, and the second of those was taken out by Draw a Dream. So Emma Stewart taking out both heats of that. The Queensland horse has ran 5th, only beaten 10 metres from a tricky draw. So Pete and Chantal would be very happy with that, I would hope. And go from there, Matty Craven, he had one in that as well. I was going to go out there tonight, but the climatic conditions weren't looking all that rosy, that's for sure. I just see there Mick Stanley, he sent one around in one of the earlier races, but he's actually working Rock and Roll Do between races at Ballarat on Friday night, so something to look forward to. I think he's going to give him a bit of a tidy up, so getting him ready for a couple of races coming up as well. So plenty of other news. Could talk all night. I probably talk too much sometimes, but I do appreciate it. Please make sure you tune in on next Monday. As I said, it'll be 12 o'clock Australian time, 2 o'clock New Zealand time, and it will be a show about the New Zealand Cup live, so get involved as you do. I'll put some more posts up, make sure people are aware of it. We're going to have Kirsten Green will be there. I'm going to have Maddie Markham and Jonny Turner will be joining me. Not sure who else we've got planned. We're going to hopefully get a past winning driver or two as well, so go from there. Might be easier and cheaper to breed the Breeders' Crown winner rather than own train it. Hamadan. Not sure what that means, Clinton, I'm sorry. Might be easier and cheaper to breed the Breeders' Crown winner rather than own train it in Hamadan. So, okay, not sure. Hopefully, I apologise, Cam, I might not be able to quite get that one out. And then Scotty Purdon, have a great and safe trip next week. Thank you. Stay tuned to Campbell's comments. There'll be plenty of updates going through on there. And yeah, please keep up to date with that. But this is On Loose Lines. We'll not be back next Wednesday. We'll be at Rickett and Gallop, so it won't be on next Wednesday. We'll be back the week after that. Hammer Down, number 1 in the next. I had to look up. I had it on that screen, sorry. And breeder, one of the breeders. So good luck out of Miss Skeeter. And Miss Skeeter is related to, I'm going to get in trouble, the Hockhams. Also Hockhams had, I know it is Miss Saxony, yes, it's out of that family that goes back there. Good luck, Clinton, in the next. I won't be live for that race, but it's going to be a chance drawn where it's drawn, going through there. But anyway, it'll be going round in the semi-finals, and then hopefully for Clinton's sake he makes the final of the Group 1. So plenty going on. Rightio, thank you very much. See you all next week live, as I said, Monday. The rest of the shows, I'm not sure how they will work. Over the Ditch will be done because that'll be on the Monday night. Talking Trotters Might go live Sunday night. I'll just see how I go, where I'm situated, and go from there. But thank you very much. Thanks to all my sponsors. Harness Racing New Zealand, really look forward to being there next week. Thank you, and talk to you all next week.